Okay, so I'm heading south on Brainerd Road. This is still Mayfield Heights, I believe, or actually it's Lyndhurst. It's now west of Mayfield Heights. Not sure what's that to the left. Some kind of park. Lyndhurst is kind of old too. Older homes. Some large, some small. This is the older part of Lyndhurst. So just a drive through. Another cul-de-sac. Because the very first house I saw in Ohio that I was interested in was in Lyndhurst. It was a nice older, like a mid-century style type of house. But then we decided that we better get a bigger yard. So I'm kind of glad, because this house shared a driveway, and I think I would have been not liking it too much anymore. I don't know if I can get to that now. I have to find where this house was. But they had it for sale, and then they took it off the market, and they just never had it for sale again. But at the time they did, and that was the time that I was getting permission from my employer to work in Chicago and live in Ohio. So it was one of these streets. And I know it was in this area close to Brainerd. With those flowers. A lot of brown-eyed Susans. Want a sofa? Somebody's moving. That's the problem with these suburbs. A lot aren't connected. I'm going to go down this street first, and then, oh, you can't get through. There's a fence there. again, you just feel like you're in a maze. Just put up these suburbs hodgepodge. Yeah, that thing is rattling and rolling. Shaking, rattling, and rolling. I think it's because I had to take it down numerous times, put it back because of the putting up the sun visor when I park. I have to put that up or else the car will be 200 degrees when I get out of work. And then the camera kind of pokes at it. So I think it's been taking it down, putting it back up, plus taking it down to download the videos. There's that sofa again. Okay, let's walk like a zombie. Unbelievable. These people are so zonked out on their phones. I don't know if this, or I'm just going, I think I'm going around in circles. So I think I'm going to turn around. This is for sale. Not coming to your house for a showing. Kind of warm in here. So let's see what the next street, where that takes me. So, or else I'm not gonna know where this is. I have to, I guess, look at my house folder where I was looking. Now this says, oh, it was Kenton. That's where it was. Never mind, I found it. It was on Kenton. This street here, I believe. And it's, I think that's the house. This one here. It's sold. This is the house I was looking at. Or it might have, no, it was the one next door. It was the one with the ADT. That was the house I was looking at. So the house next to it sold. And I thought it was a large enough house. I didn't want a big house. It was I think a little more than 2,000 square feet. Yeah, so this house that I'm facing right now with the brick the clear-story windows. That's the house that 1766 Kenston. That's what I was looking for when that's the house I saw. It was for sale at the time. And I never contacted a realtor because I wanted to get permission first or figure out what I was going to do about a job. Someone's got a Mustang. Yeah, so that was the house that first got me, okay, I want to move here. And then they took it down. They removed it. They removed the listing. So then some months passed after that. And then I really formalized with work that I was going to move here. Then I looked at listings, and in a week I was in touch with a mortgage guy. I did a lot of research, lots and lots of research, because I couldn't find, I didn't have a bank. My banks were not licensed to do mortgages in Ohio, my credit union, my bank. So I had to find a local mortgage person. And I was very fortunate. I found a guy quickly, very reputable, very competent. Yeah, he was in Lakewood, Ohio. The Leva, I think his name was. And then he got me in touch with Nancy Emmerman, the realtor. She's passed. God bless her soul. I miss her. But yeah, we kept in touch. We were friends. We were about to go to lunch together, and she got COVID, and she was fighting cancer. After COVID, after certain shots, and all of a sudden she was getting cancer. So, and she got COVID again, and then she got cancer and came back, and she passed away in 2023. We never got that lunch. And then I found out she'd passed from her son. I think it was her son, or I saw it in the, I think it was her son. So she took me in when my first year here, my first fall. I was living by myself, and she let me into her house for Thanksgiving dinner, and then we went to lunch a few times. We kept in touch. So I'm just gonna go. So this is still Brainerd. Going south, heading towards Pepper Pike, and so that's kind of it for videos today. I did a few videos. I'm going to split them up. So just a flavor for what's out here. So until next time, please subscribe, please hit the like button, please comment, give me suggestions. I know the video is bouncing around and loud and obnoxious, so I already know about that, but if you have other suggestions, I will be getting a better camera, so until next time. Yeah, I'm going west on Shaker Road. This is Beachwood, Ohio. Very desirable part of Beachwood. I don't see houses for sale too often on this stretch. Looks like somebody's renovating. Lots are larger. We're doing the shake, rattle, and roll again with the camera. Sorry. Shaking and a rattling and a rolling. Looks like somebody got busted, probably speeding. I see the cop because that entranceway is the entrance to the library. They have a decent library system here. All of Cuyahoga County, you can go to any library in Cuyahoga County because that's where I live. And I can check out any book. And then a lot of these places, they do have little book sales. No matter what time you go to the library, there's always DVDs or books for sale, and you can get some movies for the cheap, a couple bucks. I found a lot of nice foreign films. It looks like a cop is busting somebody down this street too. I see the cherries on that car. So two tickets. But people treat this stretch that I'm driving down, they treat it like a highway. They're going 45, 55. You're supposed to go 35. And this is going into Shaker Heights too. And you can go on and on in these subdivisions. Nice homes. Just the same. Different styles. These homes are $500,000 probably, 400, 500. Well, I got a video talking about the house values. I did go through several homes that had sold and talk about the values. So you got these, I think this is Shaker Heights. High prices, high taxes. Sometimes I don't know how people can afford this stuff. All I can think of is business owners, executives at companies. I just don't think the average Joe Blow working the average job at the average company can afford this, unless they're living on debt, living off credit cards, because the taxes are ridiculous. And even if you bought the home 25 years ago, you don't have a mortgage, you're going to be taxed. The taxes are going to kill you. So now I'm going to backtrack. This is going down Shaker. They have Shaker East, Shaker West. This is Shaker East, one way. That's a walking that takes you to Beachwood Park. Then, not to mention the taxes, you got the maintenance on these homes, you got slate roofs, you got masonry you got to maintain. You can't just live in there. You got a tuck point. You have to have your chimneys cleaned every year if you use them, especially the wood burning. Just nothing but maintenance and expense. So I'm going down Selgrave. It's kind of a nice area, a Beachwood, a nice little park. So I'm just going to circle down here. And besides the maintenance, I mean, cost to maintain the homes is increasing exponentially. Everything's just going up, the inflation. And now, I guess the Fed is supposed to, or expected to, reduce interest rates, and that's a ticket to disaster. I mean, I just don't like the way this administration's going. I was kind of having a little hope when this administration came in, even though I wasn't sure who to vote for. Well, I knew I didn't want to vote for the other side. So I was hoping, but I don't like the way he's going because they want to juice the economy. And inflation's already rampant, though they're lying about it, saying that there's no inflation, which is a bunch of BS. Everything's going up. It has been going up. So they want to reduce rates. They're forcing the Fed to reduce rates. And that's going to cause everything to go up again. Even more, it's going to cause hyperinflation, I think, or could. And then what they don't realize, the bond market is not a function of the Fed actions. The bond market is a function of sentiment. So if the Fed reduces rates, it doesn't necessarily mean mortgage rates and credit card rates and car rates are going to go down. They could go up, because when they see that the government doesn't want to stop spending, well, then the bond market's going to want higher interest rates, because if they want bonds, if the government wants to sell bonds, they have to provide a higher interest rate, because people see this country as just a sinking ship, a deadbeat country. So I have a feeling it's going to backfire on Trump. So I just say, as my mom says, give it to God. And the only thing that you can do, and what I think everybody needs to do, is just get out of debt. Just get out of debt as fast as you can. And then, you know, I'm kind of for also looking at some of the metals. You know, you can get silver for pretty cheap, even though it's not as cheap as it was. You could get silver at 15 to 20 bucks an ounce, and back in the day, I think during Trump's first term, now it's 42, 45 an ounce, but it's still cheap. So everybody just needs to get out of debt, quit living beyond their means, quit trying to impress people. But I feel for a lot of people, they're not trying to impress people. They're trying to buy food, they're trying to pay their utilities. The food is going up, the utilities are going up. Something's going on over there, like some kind of festival or something with the school. They had a bouncy thing, a little water slide. Yeah, so try to get out of debt. Try to reduce your expenses, cut subscriptions, cut cable. I do have a video about how to save on cable. Eat at home more. You can buy healthy foods. I mean, most of the healthy foods you can get very inexpensively, and then you just read recipes. Like a cabbage, for example. Cabbage, $2-3, and that cabbage could give you two meals, probably for a family. Like 3, 4, or 5 meals for 1 to 2 people. I mean, I get a cabbage, and it just lasts and lasts and lasts. You can steam it. You can cut it up. It tastes good with bacon. All kinds of stuff you can do with cabbage. You can use different spices with it. Cabbage and rice. And then you buy a decent bag of rice. You don't get that El Cheapo. I suggest you get decent rice like Lyndhurst. It's more expensive, but it doesn't have all the arsenic. I think all rice does, but Lyndhurst, I think, has less. It's grown in California, so it doesn't have as many heavy metals. So you buy stuff like that, raw stuff, like basic staples, and you don't buy the processed food mixes, and you make it yourself. You can get one of those slow cookers if you're busy. You can cook it the night before. You can then put it in your refrigerator and heat it up. So you can just buy all kinds of staples and make your own food, and you're going to save money. And then eggs are very healthy for you, even in spite of what the propaganda says. I mean, I was told that I was going to have a heart attack years ago, and they wanted to put me on cholesterol medicine, and I walked away. I have never been on that kind of stuff. I eat eggs, several eggs a week, and I'm fine. I feel fine. I feel great. I was supposed to be having a heart attack. I'm 61 years old, so eat a lot of eggs. Buy quality meats from a butcher. You're gonna spend more, but then it's grass-fed. I mean, just make sure you know what butcher you use, or go to Whole Foods. But then you can't trust Whole Foods that much. So you just find a decent butcher. I used to be a vegetarian, but I don't eat a lot of meat, but I eat the meat that I know is humanely sourced. So that's why I use the CSA meat from the Amish, because the cows are in the pasture. The chickens, they run, they eat worms, they eat bugs. So this is going towards Orange Village. I'll just let them in. Do a favor for somebody. It's like, what's the rush? So this is still Brainerd. I'm going to top off the gas. So these are older homes here too. They're building a lot of new homes, especially in Orange. They want to build a large development just west of here that's like a frontage road to 271. It's going to be mixed use, I think, and it's replacing some dilapidated real estate, but I think it's also taking down some open spaces, which I think is kind of sad. So if you turn right on the street, which is Harvard, there's that Pinecrest, a huge shopping center containing stuff you don't need for the most part. Though there is a Whole Foods. I do go to the Whole Foods every so often. My husband does, just to pick up the stuff that we can't pick up from the CSA, the farmers market thing. And it's not that bad. It's not like Heinen's. you can save money at the grocery store just by what I was talking about. Avoid the cereal, avoid the processed crap. A lot of that